Frequently asked question number 1. Do I need a pre-approval before I shop for a home? Yes. And skipping this step is one of the biggest mistakes I see buyers make. I can't tell you how many times someone finds the perfect home and then they call a lender. By that point, it's usually too late. At a minimum, I recommend having a pre-qualification before you start shopping, and ideally a full pre-approval. That way, you know your numbers, you know your buying power, and you're prepared to move quickly. You'll also want time to make sure your credit score is in the best possible shape so you can access the best rates and loan programs. You'll know exactly what documents you'll need, like pay stubs, bank statements, and other required items before you're under pressure. I've seen buyers miss out on homes they loved because their approval wasn't ready in time, or because they didn't qualify the way they thought they would. Preparation gives you confidence and leverage. If you're thinking about buying, start with approval first, then shop smart. Frequently asked question number 2, what is escrow? Escrow is a neutral third party and steps in once your offer is accepted to make sure everything happens the right way. They hold the money, they hold the documents, and they pay the bills. That means your deposit is handled correctly, the lender funds the loan, the seller gets paid, and all fees are taken care of before the home officially changes hands. Escrow protects everyone involved. No one gets paid and nothing is transferred until all terms of the contract are met. Think of escrow as the referee of the transaction, organized, neutral, and there to make sure the deal closes properly. Frequently asked question number 3, what happens during a home inspection? On inspection day, there are really 3 perspectives happening at once. Your inspection, my inspection, and a licensed home inspector's inspection. I'll give you a few trusted home inspectors to consider, and once you choose one, I'll coordinate and schedule the inspection for you. That's a courtesy I provide because there are usually multiple schedules involved, and I want the process to be smooth and stress-free for you. When we're at the home, I always encourage you to move through it as if you're already living there. Open doors and drawers, test things, and really experience the space. The home inspector will review the home's major systems and visible components, including the roof, plumbing, electrical, foundation, heating and air, and other structural and safety items. At the end of the appointment, the inspector will walk you through their initial findings, answer your questions, and explain what happens next. A full written report follows shortly after. Frequently asked question number 4, should I ask for repairs or a credit after the inspection? First, it's important to understand that every home is sold in as-is condition. The inspection is about information, not expecting the seller to fix everything. There are really 4 options after an inspection. You can ask for repairs, ask for credit, or 3, ask for a price reduction, or 4, use a combination of all 3. I'm often cautious about asking for repairs because that means you're relying on the seller's timing and their choice of a contractor. If repairs aren't completed properly or on time, it can delay the transaction or even create new issues. For items that could affect the appraisal or financing, I usually recommend those be addressed quickly so the deal stays on track. After that, many buyers prefer a credit towards closing costs or a price reduction, which gives them more control after closing. This is a strategic conversation and every situation is different. My role is to advise you, set realistic expectations, and negotiate in a way that protects both your timeline and your investment. Because this is a big topic and very deal specific and home specific, it's something I always recommend discussing directly. Frequently asked question number 5, what is an appraisal? Here's the simple way to think about it. You can't overpay for a home because the bank won't let you. An appraisal is ordered by the lender to confirm that the home is worth what you've agreed to pay. It's based on recent comparable sales, location, the condition of the home, and the overall market. The appraisal protects both you and the bank. If a home doesn't appraise at the contract price, we pause and review options before moving forward. That could mean renegotiating the price, adjusting terms, or reassessing the structure of the deal depending on the situation. The key thing to know is that an appraisal isn't emotional and it's not personal. It's a third-party valuation designed to keep everyone grounded in the market. Frequently asked question number 6, how long does it take to buy a home? The honest answer is, it depends. But there are 2 main phases in every home purchase. The first phase is preparation and home shopping. That timeline can vary based on your goals and the market. The second phase starts out once you're under contract. Once you find the right home, we write an offer, I negotiate on your behalf, and when all parties agree, we open escrow. From accepted offer to closing, most transactions take about 30 to 45 days, depending on inspection, appraisal, and lender timelines. Once we're in escrow, the lender largely drives the timeline. Appraisal, underwriting, and final loan approval all happen during this phase. And anything the lender needs from you as the buyer should be handled quickly to keep the transaction moving smoothly. Preparation makes a big difference. Buyers who stay organized and engaged tend to close on time with far less stress. My role is to guide you through both phases, coordinate with all the parties, and keep everything aligned for a smooth, on-time close. Because I want your home buying experience to be a joyful memory, not a stressful one. Frequently asked question number 7. What is the number 1 skill your realtor should have? Negotiation skills. Negotiating isn't just about the purchase price. It happens at multiple points throughout the transaction, from viewing the home to the initial offer to inspection requests, appraisal issues, and even timing and terms. Strong negotiation starts with strategy. It's about understanding the market, the seller's position, the condition of the home, and what actually matters most in the deal. Sometimes the best negotiation is knowing when to push. Other times it's knowing when not to. So the transaction stays on track and you don't lose the home over something that doesn't truly matter. My role is to advise you, protect your interests, and negotiate in a way that aligns with both your goals and the reality of the market. You want to hire a professional who listens, understands your priorities, and negotiates on your behalf with your long-term goals in mind. That level of strategy is what protects your interests and helps the transaction move forward with confidence. Thanks so much for watching. That wraps up our first frequently asked questions series on home buying. Join us next week when we'll talk about frequently asked questions on lending. If you have any additional questions or you're ready to start your home buying journey, my contact information is below. If there's anything I didn't cover on this 7-part series, feel free to leave a comment or contact me. I can't wait to hear from you. Follow me for more home buying and selling strategies.